All right. Thank you very much, man. Family, so first thing I want to say is, as the brother signs, thank you, okay? We almost done. We almost done, okay? We got two more candidates. Before we get to the final two candidates who are running for some very local offices in this area specifically, I wanted to ask, so I met this brother, man, 2, 3, something years ago. He won't talk to you about who he is, but there's a very special proposition on the ballot this year called Prop 6. Proposition 6, more folks will go yes on Prop 6, yes on Prop 6. And one of, if not the original authors, actually, the original author of the bill that created Prop 6 is here in the building right now. And I want to bring up none other than my good friend and brother, Samuel Daniel Brown. Sam, you come on up here, brother. So, peace, everybody. No, that was too weak for me. Peace, everybody.
Peace.
My name is Samuel Daniel Brown. I'm the founder and director of the 10P program. It's a program that I created while I was incarcerated. And I'm also the original author of the language that became Prop 6. A bill that I wrote while I was in prison last week. So I would like to talk to you all about Prop 6. We're here talking about reparations. And we know reparations is basically to repair for the harm that was caused from slavery. People celebrate Juneteenth these days, we advocate for reparations, but the fact of the matter is slavery hasn't ended.
Yeah.
Slavery is far from done. You know, they say slavery is not has another name, it's true. Many people think that the 13th Amendment abolished slavery, but it didn't. What it did was it conditioned slavery. And they conditioned it on the felony conviction. And there's a mechanism known as due process. And once they run you through that due process machine, if you commit a crime, then you can become a slave. Period. And most people don't know that. And so Prop 6, if you're not already aware of it, Prop 6 is something that everybody in here needs to vote yes on. Yes. Can y'all say yes on Prop 6?
Yes on 6.
Can y'all say yes on Prop 6?
Yes on Prop 6.
Thank you. And so the reason why it's important is because, like I said, I served 24 years in prison. And everybody that I met in the carceral setting was a casualty long before they was an offender. Everybody I met in the carceral setting was a casualty long before they were offended. They were traumatized. I'm also the pioneer of the theory of emotional illiteracy-based criminality. And that posits that nobody's born bad, nobody's born evil, but people with that criminality is a coping mechanism for unprocessed traumas. So everybody I knew that was in the gang, everybody I knew that committed a violent crime, they had probably been like molested, called stupid at their house, came from a single parent household, was made to feel like they was unimportant. And when they walked outside, they met their partners and their friends, they didn't call them stupid. They wasn't touching on them, they wasn't beating them down. They felt like they had somebody they could bond with. So hurt people, they all hurt the same before.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody I met in prison was somebody that actually needed a mentor. It was somebody that needed somebody to talk to. It was somebody that needed a place where they could be vulnerable and learn something. And placing them in prison and making them work for corporations, placing them in prison and making them work for McDonald's, Walmart, 3M, Nintendo, Victoria's Secrets, that's not the answer. So Prop 6 stops that. Prop 6 stops placing forced labor over rehabilitation. It allows people to go to anger management, stress management, victim sensitivity, and get the help that they need instead of being forced to push a broom. I learned how to push a broom in my mama's house. I learned how to wash dishes in my mama's house. I don't need to go to the pen to learn how to do that. I don't need to go to the pen ever. But while I was, excuse me for a second, while I was in the pen, it gave me an opportunity to sit in programs that address some of the issues that I had. I created one, the 10P program. I created this program in 2014, 10 years ago. It helps spearhead what rehabilitation looks like in the state right now, but you wouldn't know it because I was a life in prison. I couldn't get recognized for it, but I'm home now, right? Thank
God
you.
is good.
And my team, I send my team, I now hire people. I got people that work for me now. I send my team inside the prisons across the state to go teach emotional literacy every single week, right? I got 3 college degrees, an associate to arts and social science, an associate to arts transfer degree in sociology, and I graduated magna cum laude with a bachelor's in communication studies. The reason why I wrote Prop 6 to begin with is because I was the first person in the state of California that had it clean behind somebody that tested positive for COVID-19. So while I was in Lancaster, one of the staff members brought COVID in. And when they did, they passed it to the prison population. Because I was a hospital janitor, HFM, health facility maintenance worker, lead crew, it was my job to go disinfect behind this lady who brought it in, and then disinfect behind every person that tested positive in the hospital area from that point forward. We started out with a 12-man crew, we went down to just me, a one-man crew. And I remember telling my supervisors, because my neighbor died from COVID, the guy above me died from COVID, somebody in the other building, my partner Pee Wee, he died from COVID. And I told my supervisor, I said, man, I'm scared for my life. I don't want to go in here and try to clean behind this invisible bug that we don't understand anymore. And they told me, you have to do it or else. And I'm like, or else what? Or else you're gonna get a 115. And anybody in here familiar with the prison process, they know a 115 is the modern day whip. That's what they use to compel you to do what you otherwise wouldn't do. It's a rules violation report.
Yeah, it's called.
And because I was a life in prison, I had to go to the Board of Parole hearings. A 115 would have got me a 15-year denial. It didn't matter that I got 3 college degrees. It didn't matter that I took thousands of hours of self-help program. It didn't matter that I created a program. If I was against one damn word, they would have said that I was a risk to society and denied me for opportunities for coming home. That's what involuntary servitude looks like in our prison system. Then, on top of that, aside from giving people opportunity in prison to get the rehabilitation they need, it also takes away the incentive from these big corporations to invest in quote-unquote tough on crime legislation that decimates communities of color. I'm gonna say that again. It takes away the incentive from Walmart, Home Depot, the supporters of Prop 36 from having an incentive to invest in this so-called tough on crime legislation that destroys our communities so they can get cheap labor forces. That's really what it's about. That might be in the Philippines or Thailand. You talking to a sister in Folsom Prison. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that? Exactly. A lot of people don't know that. And then these same people, lynch crafters. You go to the pen, you work for lynch crafters, make all these glasses, they need to get out, they wouldn't even hire you. Happens all the time. All the street signs, all the furniture, the state buildings, all the license plates, all made by people who are incarcerated. And many of these jobs they can't get when they get out. So it's time for us to put a stop to it. It's time for us to go say yes on Prop 6, stop modern day slavery, involuntary servitude, and change it once for all. And it's going to take all of us voting, right? And let's be clear. Sam Brown didn't do this on my own. This brother right here, this is the man behind the machine. He helped me a great deal. I want to give Brother Chris a hand. Yeah. General Chris, I like to call him. So while I being involved in legislation while I was incarcerated, you know what I mean? It takes a group effort. It's gonna take all of us to get it done. It's not a black issue, it's not a white issue, this is a humanitarian issue. It's the issue, the opportunity for all of us to evolve with our shared humanity as a collective, and we gotta get it done. So can y'all say yes on Prop 6?
Yes on Prop 6.
No. Can y'all say yes on Prop 6?
Yes.
Here we go, peace and blessings.
My brother Billy got a question. I'll take one more and I'll shoot there as well. One, so yes, sir.
So do you know whether or not those corporations who benefit off of prison labor, they the ones like pushing against Prop 6?
So as of right now, thank you very much for your question, brother. So if y'all look inside y'all voters' manuals and everything, they said that there's no stated opposition against Prop 6. Please do not get robbed to sleep. Do not fall for that. That's a great question. It's said that there's no opposition to Prop 6, but we know that's not true. The same people that are pushing Prop 36 don't want to see a Prop 6. Prop 6 undermines the prison industrial complex. So while I can't directly say that anybody has come out and said that they support slavery, we know that it's not done until it's done. I've seen it too many times while I was incarcerated. Even with the 3 strikes law, when it was time to be revived, we were sitting in the pen thinking, was it Prop 36 back in the day? It was 33, 36. All of us fell asleep in the prisons like yeah, it's gonna get overturned, it's gonna get overturned. We woke up, it was dead. It was dead. They started running these pictures and these videos on the last day, talking about how they was gonna let out a bunch of killers and murderers and rapists, and it was about making life easy for people who were incarcerated, and they killed them. So there's no state opposition, but we don't believe that these people really want to see it pass, and we need to make sure we stay vigilant. Stay vigilant, tell your neighbors, tell your family, tell your folks, oh, yes, on Prop 6.
Yes, Mr. Brown, first and foremost, I want to say that to have you here because you are the prime example of what we're trying to teach our black youth. That they can get out of anything and get involved in legislation. Get involved in writing bills. Policy is not a foreign entity, it's generally how we live. And I was saying, as a mother who has a son incarcerated, he's 21, and they're trying to give him life in prison just for possessing a gun. So I want to say again, thank you for Prop 6. There's a lot of people that say, well, no vote, no warning, that's insanity. And for you to be here today, if you can please explain to the public, especially to our youth, what was the process of you even getting Prop 6 to even be a bill? Like, what was that process so people, our brothers, our youth who are in jail right now can aspire to do the very same thing?
Great question. And in regards to your son, I want you to stay encouraged, no matter what they say. So I created the 10P program on the level 4 maximum security 180 yard. There's a lot of homicides, a lot of suicides, a lot of overdoses, people with life without the possibility to roll 3, 4, 5, 6 life sentences told they would never be home. A lot of them are home today. So I just want you to stay fired up, stay encouraged, and don't believe what they say. I had life. I'm standing right before y'all right now. I ain't never told on nobody, never cracked, cave, fold, told them to soul, give them information to roll, none of that. You feel me? I'm right here, right now. So what I would say to the youth inside the prison system and anybody else, it started with me knowing that this had to be done. It had to be done. So I was like, at the time, Jamelia was my partner, and she said to me, because I was like, basically, I don't want to go clean COVID anymore. And they told me I had to do it. And she said, well, can't you appeal it or something? I said, well, I can't appeal it because the Constitution supports what they're doing. Article 1, Section 6 of the California Constitution reads, involuntary servitude and slavery are prohibited except as punishment for a crime. So no matter how many appeals I wrote, it was going to be moot. So she said, well, can't you change the Constitution? I said, well, give me the paperwork. And she sent me the paperwork, and I researched family law, labor law, constitutional law, the California Code of Regulations, and within a week I wrote it. And I sent it out. And she did the footwork and took it to Assemblymember Sidney Kaum-Lager. Assemblymember Sidney Kaum-Lager picked it up, then became Congresswoman Kaum-Lager. We pushed it as ACA3, we created a whole coalition. The very first press conference we did, I was on the cell phone, I was on the wall phone, they were holding the cell phone to the microphone, and they were all standing on the stairs, and I did the press conference right there from prison, right? And so, but it didn't make it through the first time, we came back around, and we pushed it again. We revised the language. It took a lot of discussions and you know, talks, and Chris was at the center of it. He knows about it. So it takes a whole coalition. It takes getting with people who know processes better than me. Because I knew my part. I knew the prison system. I knew being incarcerated. I knew what I was being forced to do. So I wrote about what I knew, that I trusted other people to do their part. And it's important that we find people that we can be in coalition with and work with, and we'll do their part.
We're not going to talk about so, man, we got two more. Okay.